Welcome back to Table 49. Today we're going to do a skillet roast chicken with some lovely roast vegetables, a one-dish meal that you can use for Valentine's Day or any day. The leftovers are amazing for different dishes as well. Let's get into it. Start with our veg. See? I'm speaking the lingo. Veg. Let's start with our Brussels sprouts. Tricked you. Brussels sprouts this year are a little weak. I think it was the flooding. I don't know. When you're cleaning a Brussels sprout, you can use a smaller knife, but chef's knife's fine. Take the bottom off. Take the dead leaves off. Anything that falls off naturally. This is the part that's bitter, the center core. It's like a little cabbage. So if you want, you can take that out by just Xing it. Boom. Nice like that. Let's do the rest. Okay. Where did I put them all? Oh, they're here. Well, okay, Brussels sprouts. If you're not using them for a long time, like any type of leafy vegetable, you can put it in a nice ice bath and that'll crisp them right up. Especially if they're old, that's a good trick to do to just kind of make them taste that much better. But we're just gonna set them aside. Move on to our potatoes. We've got some lovely yellow flesh potatoes. The great thing about yellow flesh potatoes is you don't have to peel them necessarily. Give them a scrub, take out any eyes with the back of a knife, and then just chop them. We've already washed them, so we're just gonna chop them up. Next, we've got our root vegetables. We've got our carrots, and we've got our funny looking carrots called parsnips. A lot of people hate these. I think they're just kind of prejudiced towards the way they look. Harry Potter ones is what Jordan just said. Other type of ones. Anyways, peel them, chop them. Celery. A lot of times you don't eat the celery that's in roasts just because it's a bit stringy. You can peel it, but then you're wasting so much good stuff. So what I like to do with celery is kind of crisscross it so I can set my chicken on it so the air circulates a lot more evenly. So we'll just give this a rough chop. Voila. That was quick. I talk. Why would I talk, Jordan?
Rolling.
Oh! An onion. We're gonna put this on the outside and then we're also gonna chop one to stuff that cavity with. Oh. See, that's the Sopranos coming through.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, T. Thirst out. I don't know what he said. Okay. Garlic, so necessary for any roast you're doing. I don't care, you need garlic. Ina Garten does a 40 clove garlic chicken. It's fantastic, but that's a bit much for now. Some people leave the skin on the garlic. I wouldn't recommend that. You want all that flavor. It's gonna get really nice and sweet with the skin off. So just peel it and pop it in. Lemon, and then our herbs and our apple are actually just going to be stuffed in the cavity. So just give this a quick chop into 4. Your herbs you can just throw in there as they are, and the apple same, 4 chops.
Sweetness and tartness.
Can't have the sweet without sour, right? Also just helps with gravy. And that's your prep. You can do that in the morning so that you can kind of hang out with your date or pay attention to your own self-worth. That's the Dayquil. Okay, let's stuff this. Okay, we're gonna do a quick compound butter to use over the skin, and I'm actually gonna place it under the skin. So I've got, what is this, a 1/4 cup 1 stick of butter, might be half, quarter of a cup. Oh. Roughly chop some herbs. We're gonna save some for inside, but we're gonna actually take some of these. So I've got some sage, some parsley, and some rosemary that I need to use up. With this, you don't have to worry about stemming it because we're gonna give it a really nice dice.
That smells really good.
Good. Off to the races. Compound butters are great as well. You can make them very easily. You just need room temperature butter. You can use them spread on bread to make a nice little cracker. In any type of roast, you can use them for sweet things as well, if you did like a cinnamon sugar kind of thing. They're great to have on hand. Okay, we're gonna put some dry herbs in here too. Where are my dry herbs? So I've got a bit of oregano here. And I've got some onion powder as well. Some pepper. Of course, salt. Quite a bit of salt. And then what do we do?
Lemon zest.
Lemon zest! They're handy dandy microplane. And you know what? Let's put some spice in there. We're gonna get some paprika going in there. Or where are my chilies? We're actually gonna use a chili. Just dice it nice and fine, and we'll throw it in there as well. You're gonna take your spatula, just something like this, and you're just gonna work that butter like so. Okay. I have a chicken that I took out probably still chilled, probably 20 minutes ago. You don't want to put a freezing cold chicken in the oven. It's just gonna tighten up and not be juicy. We're gonna stuff it, we're gonna butter it. Let's start with the cavity. Some onion, a couple of garlic here, some apple. Oh, this is a small cavity. And a lemon. Good. Okay, this is my trick for getting a crisp skin. You are going to want to zoom in on my hands. Gently lift the skin from the flesh. You're going to move your fingers around very gently. You don't want to make any holes. And get all that lifted. This is where people freak out. Ew! Figure, if you're eating it, be comfortable with it. Okay, got that flesh nice and loose. That's what she said. We're gonna put some of our compound butter under the skin. This is gonna create a nice crisp skin and moist flesh. Just press it in there. Be generous. Don't worry if it's too much. It's not. It's perfect. You're perfect. The world's beautiful. Be positive. Live, love, laugh. It's actually a Gordon Ramsay trick. Who, I don't know. Do I agree with him? No. But he's funny. Okay, we've got it under the skin. We're gonna put it on the skin now. This thing is gonna be super moisturized. Use this as a face cream if you want, I don't care. Don't, you've touched the chicken. It's too late now. The main part you wanna make sure is fully covered is the breast. The breast is what's gonna dry out first, so cover it up. The dark meat has more fat, so you don't need to worry about that as much. There we go. We're gonna tie this bad boy up. This is daunting to a lot of people. All this is doing is making sure that it stays nice and looking like a chicken. It's not gonna splay out like you last Friday. Ah! So this is how I do it. I'm sure this isn't how you're supposed to, but like just do it. Just tie your legs together. Get some butcher twine. It's always good to have on hand. Keep it wrapped. You're gonna cut this off at the end anyways, but it's just so that it cooks and stays like this. You can do a loop. I'm just gonna tie it with a knot because I'm on cold medication and who knows what's gonna happen. There. Pretty. I think. Let's create our bed for it. Got our cast iron. If your cast iron's looking a bit dry, which this is, give it a nice little coating. It's gonna grease up nice from this chicken, but just make sure it's not gonna bake dry. And we're gonna coat our vegetables and fruits and everything on the bottom. Just like this, give them a nice mix. You don't need a ton of oil because it's going to have the chicken juices go into it. At the end, we'll definitely put some more seasoning and stuff, but right now, you want, oh, we did a lot of vegetables. That's good. Leftovers. Save your pennies, kids. Holy, we did a lot. That's okay. We're here now. We're living. Salt and pepper this stuff. If you want crispier vegetables, you're gonna want a bigger pan than this. This is gonna kind of steam a little. I have come too far. We're doing this. I'm also kind of cool. We're doing this. A little bit more olive oil. Genius. And then you're just gonna hunker this sucker right there. Tuck the wings under. Look at that, it's like a little mountain of chicken. Cute. Cute. And the last thing we're gonna do, which I think this is huge, is get some scissors. Cheesecloth soaked in alcohol covered on the breast. Gesundheit. Cheesecloth is available at any grocery store, it should be. It comes in handy for a lot of things, especially if you're straining. It's nice as a coffee filter as well if you're in a pickle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put about this much, enough to cover the breast. That's good. And we're going to put some type of alcohol. Today we're using the original Pilsner. What does that mean, Jordan? So pour your beer over this cheesecloth. Let it soak a little. Yum, yum, yum. Let it sit in there for 10 minutes, but we're moving. We're moving. Throw it over that breast. Then pour the remaining beer slowly so it doesn't just drench over top. It's gonna get into your vegetables too. It's gonna add a nice caramelization. Good. We're gonna go into a 350 oven for 20 minutes, then we're gonna check on it. Should we make some coffee? The chicken has been in the oven for about 40 minutes. I have kept drenching it with melted butter to just keep this a little moist. You can see that it's kind of crisped up. Oh my goodness. We're gonna remove this. Look at all that goodness. You can see right here. Oh, get a shot of that. That's just liquid. That's just juices in there. Oh, just keeping it succulent. Put the vegetables onto a separate tray just to get them nice and crisp. At this point, we can put some more oil on them and some herbs and some salt and pepper. So let's do that. Oh my God, good. Keep as much liquid as possible in the cast iron. Putting the chicken back into the pan. By doing this, we've created a nice gravy. having the vegetables in with the chicken is going to infuse what that gravy will be with all of those flavors as well as the chicken juices. We're gonna pop them both back in. This is gonna be on your lower rack. This is gonna go back on your middle rack in your oven. We are going to take the temperature of this bad boy. We need it to be 165 Fahrenheit. We are not there. It has to go back in. Chicken is something you have to cook until it's done, otherwise you're gonna get really sick. So let's put it back in. Okay. We've taken it out. You can see how nice and golden it is. And if you still like touch it, you can still see the juices underneath. Ah! God, I love it. I love it. I love roast chicken. It's the best comfort food in the world. Oh, that gravy is gonna be so good. We're gonna tent this and let it sit before you cut it. You wanna tent a chicken of this size. This is pretty small. I'd say for 10 minutes. So just put some foil over it on a separate plate, and then you'll be ready to cut it. Okay, let's put this back on the stove. We're gonna bring it to a boil and then add some stuff to make a nice gravy. The great thing about cast iron, you can be rough with it. We're gonna use a metal whisk to get all the brown bits off the side from the chicken. We're gonna evaporate some of that extra moisture. Okay, this is our easy blend flour. Has a little dent in it because it's cute. And we're gonna put this in and make a little roux with this. Cook it a little bit so it doesn't taste like flour. For this, you just wanna probably like a tablespoon. And then let it cook. This is where you're going to add something to develop a little bit more flavor. You can either use an anchovy paste, or I just have Worcestershire sauce. This is actually a fermented fish sauce as well, the British version. This will just create a depth of flavor. So just a few drops of that, Costco size. There we go, it's sticking. This is where we're gonna add our broth. Once it comes to a boil, you're done. So tender. That's falling off the bone. I'm so excited. We should do a takeaway Tuesday for how to cut a chicken. You see that the vegetables have a nice char. There's a lemon there just for looks. You can serve it with some nice bread or rice if you wanted to. With roast chicken, it's not that colorful. It's winter. You're not gonna have a lot of in-season things that are colorful. Put some pomegranate seeds on this, really spice it up. Maybe we'll do that. But you're good to go. This is gonna be delicious. I'm excited to have it. Roast chicken.
The roast chicken dinner.
The roast chicken dinner. Super easy. So tender. Oh! Like you said, we didn't even tent this for that long. This is just nice. There's something so comforting about that. It's like a bite of nostalgia, like being at your grandparents' or listening to CBC while your mom cooks dinner. That's mine. It's a really good dish to make. You can save money by cooking a whole chicken. And honestly, it's just a really good place to start learning how to cook. Find the ingredients below, links below, like me on Instagram, Facebook, and we'll see you next week. This is what I wanted.